Alright guys, welcome to a deck profile and games for the Tapu Bulu Vikavolt deck. So the reason I'm doing this deck is my cards arrived today. Tapu Bulu GX, a 180 HP grass type Pokemon, basic with a 3 energy retreat cost and 3 attacks. The attacks are all pretty good. One attack for 1 grass does 30. If you have a choice band on, you're doing 60. Second attack, Nature's Judgment, which is the one we'll use the most, for 2 grass and a colorless, does 120, and if you discard all energy attached to this Pokemon, you do 60 more damage. So you're able to hit 180 with a choice band to 10. And then the GX attack, Tapu Bulu GX, for 150 damage, heals all damage from this Pokemon. So unless your opponent's able to one-shot it, you can use the GX attack to heal him up, keep him alive, and do 150 in the process, which is pretty good. So we play 3 Tapu Bulu, and then to meet that pretty hefty energy cost, we play a 3-1 line of Vikavolt. Vikavolt with the Strong Charge ability. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may search your deck for a grass and lightning energy, attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like, and then shuffle your deck. And in a pinch, we can use its attack, Electric Cannon, for a lightning, and 3 colorless energy, doing 150 and discarding 3 energy. So a lot of energy discard in this deck, and to deal with that, we play 2 ways of recovering that energy. The first is Energy Recycler. This item card, shuffles 5 basic energy from your discard pile back into your deck. So you shuffle the energy back and you put it back on your Pokemon with Vikavolt. Second way of getting our energy back is Brock's Grit, letting us shuffle 6 of any combination of Pokemon and basic energy cards from our discard pile back into our deck. So between those two, we really aim to get our energy back. We are heavily ability reliant because of Vikavolt, so for that, to deal with Garbatox and Garbodor, we play 2 Field Blower in the deck, and it also helps us deal with any things like Fury Belts and choice bands on our opponent's side. One thing you'll notice about both Vikavolt and Tapu Bulu is they have a 3 energy retreat cost, so we're able to benefit from Heavy Ball, which lets you search your deck for a Pokemon with a retreat cost of 3 or more and put in your hand. We use the Heavy Ball in combination with Rare Candy to try and skip the middle evolution on the Charger Bug, get a Vikavolt up and running quite quickly, and a Bulu on the bench or active, which we can power up using the Strong Charge ability. We also play 4 Ultra Ball to search out those Pokemon, as well as Tapu Lele. Lele giving us the Wonder Tag ability. You play it down, search your deck for a supporter, and put it into your hand. So that really lets us search out any of our supporter line. One of the most important pieces in the supporter lineup is the one of Skylar. Skylar can help us get that Heavy Ball, can help us get the Rare Candy, or whatever other trainer we need. If we need to hit the kind of magic 210 number, it can get us the one of Choice Band that we play. I've opted for a 1-2 split between Choice Band and Fury Belt. The Fury Belt to give that Bulu the extra 40 HP buff. It helps if you're playing against the Dramper Zoroark deck. The Break can copy your attack for 180, and the Dramper can do 180. So 180 is a pretty easy number for a lot of decks to hit these days, which is why we go for the Fury Belt. We also play, in terms of tools, 2 Floatstone for the Vikavolt. But let's jump back to the supporter line. We play a 1 of Bridget to get 3 basics and put them on the bench. We've spoken about the Brock's Grit already. We play 1 of Hex Maniac. This helps in a lot of matchups, in particular Metagross, Decidueye, and in the Mirror. We play 2 Lysander to bring up a Pokemon on the opponent's bench, 3 N to shuffle back and draw equal to prize cards, 1 Olympia, a way of switching. If we've discarded all the energy of our Bulu, it's a 3 energy retreat cost, makes it pretty difficult to get out of the active, and the Olympia helps us do that, especially if we don't have access to Strong Charge to recharge the active again. We play 4 Professor Sycamore, discard your hand, draw 7 cards, and then in terms of the energy lineup, we play 8 Grass and 5 Lightning Energy, and that's the deck. So I think what we can do is just jump onto the ladder and give it a test. I have been testing out the original idea that most people had, which is the Lurantis build, but I think the Vikavolt build of the deck is just more consistent and better suited to the current meta. So we're up against Dark, Psychic, Colorless. This is most likely a Zoroark Dramper deck, so we can see if those Fury Belts help us in this matchup or not. We are going to get to start, and we start with Mulligan, so our opponent's going to get to draw an extra card. Alright, so let's see. He had a Mulligan 2, or she in this case. This doesn't look like what I would expect. So it's either a more aggro Dramper build or something entirely different. Potentially it is Darkrai, but we'll see now. Let's start with a Bulu as our active and see what we are up against. The puzzles kind of throw me off, but let's see what we're playing against here. Alright. Is it a Darkrai? If it's Darkrai, the wow, okay. I'm going to attach the active. I'm going to Ultra Ball the Hex Maniac and the Charge Bug for a Tapu Lele. I am going to Ultra Ball the Heavy Ball and the Glowstone for a Grubbin. Play down the Grubbin. Play down the Lele. Use the one attack ability and search our deck for a supporter. Gonna go with an N. I should have finished searching the deck, but it's late. I'm tired. So just gonna play it and see how the game goes. Alright, so we get another Bulu, which I am gonna put down on the bench. And we can pass on to our opponent's turn, see what we're up against. Maybe we'll get a bit more of an idea now. It could be a Zoroark, or an Umbreon. Could be Umbreon. Umbreon with hammers, maybe. Which, but then why would you play the elixirs? Well, I'm going to stop guessing and just see what it is that we're up against. Wow. Okay, so that's pretty much going to be game. Our opponent didn't really get anything set up, and we can just use the Skylar and Rare Candy into the Vikavolt, and we can just Nature's Judgment after we Strong Charge for 180 damage. So let's just Strong Charge onto the active. And we will just go for the Nature's Judgment, discarding all the energy and doing 180. So our opponent didn't really get set up, not really sure what they were playing. And let's see if we can get another game. Alright, I'm not going to bother to look what they're playing. As I said, it's late, so I just wanted to get a game or two off. Try and show off the deck and how it works. Alright, so we're up against Grass, Electric, and Psychic. So this actually could be a mirror match. So let's see if it is. And if it is, maybe we can get that Hex Maniac and try and shut down our opponent from using their own Strong Charge. They do get a basic, we get a mulligan, so we'll draw a new hand of 7. Another mulligan, and they are going first, so we won't get a chance to end these cards out of their hand. And we start with a lone Grubbin. So this could be our turn for a very short game. Let's have a look. Our opponent going to draw for the mulligans. And yep, it is going to be a mirror match. So starting their own Grubbin, but able to get the Lele down on the bench. One to tag, and maybe go for a Bridget. Let's have a look what he gets. Going for the Bridget, and going to most likely get 2 Bulu and another Grubbin on the bench, I would imagine. That is certainly what I would get. So, yeah, let's have a look. This is another example, I think, where the Fury belts can be really useful. So we won't really be able to play the Sycamore here. We will have to play the N, unfortunately. I'm going to put a float stone on the active, and I'm going to play an N. Unfortunately, it's not a handful of things we want to discard. Alright. We pretty much have nothing, so you know what, let's give it one turn, and who knows. Maybe our opponent whiffs the float stone or the red candy. Nope. Okay, just going to evolve up into Charger Bug. So probably has a float stone, because Charger Bug does have a 3 energy retreat cost. Pretty hefty. Surprised he didn't evolve the bench. Okay, well, so we get a reprieve. We get one turn to try and make something happen. We're going to play that in one more time and see what we can do. You never can tell. Alright, so let's end. Alright, so let's see here. Unfortunately, we won't be able to actually do much here because we are going to get knocked out straight back if we if we go for this play. So I'm actually going to just, you know what, let's just let it play out. I'm going to leave the grub in there, and if he manages to get a float stone, retreat and attack, good for him. If he doesn't, then we get a turn. So he's got the choice band onto the bench. Gonna play an N. I don't see this going particularly well for us, but you never know. Alright, so if only. Alright, so he's got the Vikavolt. He can strong charge onto himself. Let's see if he's got a rare candy and another Vikavolt. I will let him retreat. Nope. So, wow. Okay, that is amazing. So we are going to use the heavy ball, get another Bulu on the bench. And now we have a choice. Do we want to risk it for the biscuit? I think we do. We're just going to go for it. YOLO. Well, that didn't work out well at all. As I said, our opponent can now strong charge twice onto himself, attach, retreat, and swing with the Bulu on the bench. So if he's got a Lysander, he'll be able to take out the Bulu on our bench. We don't really have any way of retaliating, so not a hell of a lot of options for us. Most likely going to get another, okay, a Lele here. Could Lele for a Skylar, or Skylar for a Floatstone. It's going to get rid of our own Floatstone, so not that it matters, but yeah, let's see. Alright, attach to the bench, which means, alright, must be able to get a Floatstone now then. Most likely going to... Interesting, I mean... The Lele will be 10 damage short of knocking out the Grubbin, so... An N. Alright, I'm okay with that. Our hand was pretty terrible. We still have 2 more chances. Alright, we can get a Vikavolt out, so... All is not lost. He's going to get his own Vikavolts out, so now he can not strong charge. Alright, wow, okay. I am going to Rare Candy. We have a Lele in the deck as well. So, do we need another Vikavolt this turn? Do we want to discard all that lightning energy? I think we do. I think we do want to do this. So we are going to get a Lele. We're going to Lele, Wonder Tag of our own. Yes, I'd like to Wonder Tag, please. I want an N. I am going to get this Fury Belt onto the bench. And we're going to N. Looking for a float stone, which we don't find. So that's awesome. I'm actually going to start powering up these guys. I think it's the way to go. So let's get this dude powered up. And let's get this dude powered up. And you know what? I'm actually going to discard Bridget and the Lysander, and I'm going to get out nothing. Just want to thin those out of the hand. So we have them in the discard, accessible with a Versus Seeker later on in the game. Gonna rare candy into that Vikavolt. So now we're in kind of the awkward who one-shots who kind of situation. So gonna go for the Lysander, bringing up the Bulu without a tool on it. And is he going to go for the Nature's Judgment here, or go for the GX attack? Alright, going to go for the GX attack. An interesting choice, really. I mean, we can just one-shot his Bulu, discard all our energy. That means the Lele won't really have the ability to knock us out. I'm going to attach to our own Lele, and I'm going to play an N. Alright, so how much energy is in the discard? 4 energy in there. I'm actually going to cycle that back in right now. Put another Bulu down. I am going to strong charge onto the Bulu. And we will Nature's Judgment, discarding the energy and knocking out his Bulu. So each of us at 4 prizes. He's got lots of ways of retaliating. But let's see what he can do. We draw the Lysander. He's going to bring up the Floatstone Vikavolt so he can retreat if he needs to. An Ultra Ball, most likely getting out another Bulu, which he'll be able to power up with the 2 Vikavolts. Let's see if he's got the Field Blower. A strong charge onto the Bulu. And this is really why the Fury Belts are in here for the mirror match. I wonder if he's got a supporter in hand. An N. Okay, Versus Seeker. Gonna go for a Lysander? Yeah, Lysander. Alright, bringing up maybe the Bulu. Okay. Gonna go for a Nature's Judgment here, going down to 2. And we're gonna do exactly the same thing, so. Taking 2 prizes. I hope they're good. Alright, so we can... Do we have access to Hex Maniac? I don't think we do, which is pretty unfortunate. Hex would have been amazing here. It was prize. I can't remember if we've taken it yet. We could... We could get a Skylar. Do we have any more? We've got one more. Do we have any heavy... No, we've got no heavy rolls left. So, what do we want to do here? Do we want to... Do we want to risk it? I'm going to. I'll go for the yen. We don't know what our opponent got off the prizes, but hopefully it wasn't good. Well, hopefully it was good, and we're about to shuffle it away. Alright, so we get one more Vikavolt out of our own, which is great. And our opponent giving us the heart. So, who knows? Let's just strong charge. One lightning onto the Lele. And then we will Nature's Judgment. For the 180, going down to our own 2 prizes, and he can put a bunch of energy onto a Lele or a Vikavolt. There's the Skylar. What's he got in hand? Must be something good. Must be a Bulu. Or a rescue stretcher or something. Okay, so he's got 180. He's going to Sycamore away. Does he hit the field blower? He's got the field blower. He's got the game in hand. Doesn't have the field blower. Then we don't have the game in hand either. So let's see. I would think if he had the field blower, he would have played it down immediately. But you never know. Catching the grass. And wow. Okay, so let's think about this carefully. We need to knock that out. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's enough. But then we would need the Brox, which we don't have. So this is really awkward. Really, really awkward. I am very confused around what to do here. Okay, I'm going to play the Brox. The Brox script. I think this is a bad idea, but you know. It is what it is. Let's put that back. Alright, so. How do we want to play this? Let's think carefully now. We will strong charge onto the active. I'm going to hold that, and I'm going to just go for the Tapu Wilderness. Oh, that was probably a mistake, but let's find out. Going down to 1. Our opponent probably got the Lysander. Bringing up the Lele, I would imagine. Just needs 1 lightning energy. Does he have a Brox? No, then he can't Lysander. Gonna be Versus Seeker. Let's see what he... Okay, he's going for the Lysander. Gonna Lysander up the Lele. But does he have the lightning energy? If he does, I'm not sure why he didn't use it last turn. Doesn't look like it. Do I get the sad face? Most likely get the sad face. Energy drive for 130. How much do we need here? Right, we only need to take one more prize, so I'm actually going to retreat into the Bulu, and then we can just Nature's Judgment for the knockout. So, taking the game, a bit long, our opponent having a bit of bad luck, but so did we. And hopefully that gives you a bit of an overview of the deck. And let me know your comments, changes you'd make, and like, comment, subscribe guys. Cheers.